Hey traders, this is Ron Hayden at Market Tamer. Happy Monday. Hope you're doing great. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves risk, and specific financial issues should always be addressed with your financial advisor. The Qs, Diamond, SPY all finished higher. Qs were the best performer on the day, and the markets are all basically at new all-time highs. I had a question on Tesla and its recent move. If you look at a daily chart here on Tesla, the red line is the 20-day EMA. The orange is the 50-day SMA. That's the institutional moving average. And when we get below, when the red line gets below the orange, that's usually an indication the bears are winning. And if you look back to the very end of last year, beginning of this year, it's exactly what happened. This stock goes from about 330 all the way down to 176.99 was the low. A huge drop. The red never got back above, even though the stock tried to get above the 50-day. We never had enough days for that red line to get above the orange. We drop. Now here recently, we have the red coming back up through the orange, and that occurred starting on the day before the 4th of July and then the day after on the 5th of July. Since then, the stock closed at 233. Now we're at 253. This thing's been bullish technically already for 20 bucks, which is nice, and I would consider a red line here as a trailing stop. Also a question on Netflix. I have two lines drawn in here, and I'm going to have to go back 2 years to give you a little bit of better perspective. This 385-ish area goes all the way back here to a gap a year ago on that July earnings report. Now, Netflix has earnings tomorrow, according to Thinkorswim. This could be interesting. A gap up or a close higher than this 385 area, then we go back up to the double top. The all-time high is at 420. If the stock were to gap lower and break this 335 area, then the next major support is all the way down here. We have enough touch points, basically 3 touch points, to create a trend line. They were defending this 335 area for whatever reason. So the biggest move that we can see right now would be if there was a gap down on earnings to fill this area. Otherwise, if the bulls go up, you have your initial target, and above 420, it's blue sky territory. I also had a question on Symantec. Here is a company that was getting bought out by Broadcom, AVGO. Stock gaps up. Goes from like 22 to 26, about 20% move. At this point, this is my personal opinion on buyouts. Sell the news. Once you know it's going through, unless you have such conviction about someone else coming in and making this a bidding war, the risk is something happens, it fails, it's rejected, and the stock goes right back down to the pre-buyout point. Well, guess what? The deal's off, and Symantec goes back down. There's just so very little left to gain unless you're that confident that someone else is going to come in and make it a bidding war. So just food for thought when you see those buyout takeover rumors. How about silver? I said I would talk to you guys again about silver when we finally had some action. We got some action. Today, the volume was 17.2 million shares. This was a spike, closed at the highs of the day. So we had to move up, pull back to the pull back to the orange line, institutional moving average, and now we're pushing higher on stronger volume. Once it takes out 1450, that'll just make this look even better. Then we go back up here to that little mini double top around 1518 or 1520 a share. If you look at AGQ, this is the double long silver ETF. Now remember, doubles, triples, when you get these leveraged ETFs, it can be a quick way to lose all your money. So again, not advice or recommendation, practice on paper, just so you can see how these prices change and the values get destroyed. But here's AGQ. We started to see big volume just like silver, but silver's been lagging gold. Well, today we got our pop. With silver being only 14 or so bucks, here's something that's a little more leverage with it being an ultra, so it's twice the long. We take out 25, then arguably we could say 28.50 would be the target. Now, if you compare that to gold, GLD, we're still in our pennant. Now, gold's way, way outperformed. Here on May 31st was the big move. There was the gap above the 50-day, took out a previous high, and then it's been a really nice run. This is still a flagpole. This is still the flag, aka the pennant. We're seeing a lot more up volume than down volume, even though gold is not seasonally bullish over the summer. In fact, the deeper into summer we go, the weaker it gets. This could be the 1 year where it bucks the trend. And what do? We watch the volume, and then I want a nice little trailing stop in here to show when, you know what, this pop, it's over and it's dead meat. So I would consider using the red line as the 20-day EMA trailing stop. How about some new stocks? BHVN. I came across these. They were big movers. Biohaven Pharmaceutical. I don't think I've ever looked at these guys. They were up 7.5%. Volume, while it's only 1.2 million, you can start to see we're getting some pops. But look what it's done today. Just barely closed above the 20-day EMA, and we're into the gap. The gap fills 57. Hey, 12 bucks, 25% or so. That would be the upside target, technically. The current trailing stop, I would use basically the intraday low today, which was 42.60. Another stock I've never looked at before. IONS, IONS. Volume here isn't as good, but what I like here is this rounded bottom. They seem to be defending 62.50, 63 bucks. Today, not only did we close at the highs of the day, we also took out the previous high. You could just go to little previous highs. A little bit of resistance here, but that was only 2 days. You zoom in closer. Just 2 days. There's some ledge support here at 72.50-ish. That would be initial target. Then gap fill. The stop, I could come down here to 62.50 or even use today's intraday low as a potential end of day trailing stop, but this is a nice little pop here. And how about CROX, CROX? Seasonally bullish stock over the coming weeks. Look how the volume spikes are occurring. Pop, 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 as the stock is moving higher. Well, we just took out the 50-day and clearly the previous highs. We sort of got stuck here at this ledge, but we're already in it. The next major technical target, not saying it's going to get there, but all the way up there at 30. That could be a huge move potentially. Again, just fun for paper trading, but something else that's on the verge or actually breaking out. What will add to the bullish conviction is when the 20-day, if it does cross above the 50-day. So that's it, folks. Wish you guys a fantastic day. I'll be with you in the next video. Take good care.